truth beyond what you may see now. But when we are one, we bring more good about. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. See with new eyes, allow and unfold, embrace and let go, trust the flow. There's a freedom in love when you follow your heart. Together we are stronger than we could ever be apart. No matter who or what you call yourself or where you come from, yeah. There is a place in this world with open arms right now. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Breathe in and out. Slowly feel all that's around you. All that you feel, all that you know. Let it go. Welcome to love, welcome to peace, welcome to our community. Be who you are, let your light shine. We're so much more when we unite. Yeah, when we unite. Oh, we unite. Yeah, yeah, when we unite. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are welcome here. Love is welcome here. Peace is welcome here. You are welcome here.
Grand risings today. Grand risings today. Grand risings. Grand risings. And here in the United States, good morning. Thank you so much for being here at CSL Ocala, this place of life, love, and learning. That's my little tagline. I always say that for myself. Because that's why I come back. My spiritual life, I start with spirit, moves into my mind, and shows up in the body. And that's why I am here. And look at that. Look at you all deciding to be here in this little sandbox with us today. We all play together. That's what Reverend Cindy calls it. So you are welcome here. Thank you so much for being here today. And who are we? We at CSL Ocala, our mission is that we embody and share truth principles and spiritual practices to empower us to awaken to the power and presence that lies within us and all around us, because God is everywhere present. It is everywhere. There is no spot that God is not. So that we may facilitate spiritual healing so that we may remember who we are, and the elevation of the individual and collective consciousness when we all wake up to that truth. And then we get together and collaborate and move forward. And so this is our collaborative unit, Center for Spiritual Living Ocala. And here we have a vision. And this vision was brought to us via our community. All of us sat down and came up with this too. And we are saying this out front. We are a thriving New Thought community. We are dedicated to spiritual growth and practice, sacred activism, and the transformative love that reveals our interconnectedness and oneness. That transformative love we're talking about is not what happens with change. You know, the seasons change, but then it comes back, it changes, then it comes back. We're talking about transformation. Seed, oak tree. Oak tree can never go back. We are transforming ourselves here. And how are we doing it? We're using sacred activism. It is the intersection of consciousness, I know myself, and action, what I do with myself. It is a place where prayer and service activate love and spiritual principles becomes lived practice. It's not for the faint of heart. It is hard to do this out there in a very prickly world, because you will get poked from time to time by all kinds of stuff. And this is when you have to go, oh, reset, oh, reset. And the more you do it, the stronger you become, and the more you start to see. And then you start to walk in confidence. And that is what we do. We show up each other here. Sacred activism is how we show up as a beneficial presence in the world, knowing that I am God and I am treating everything else as God. So thus, I move with love for myself and everyone else. And how do we do this? We show up with these values, and we chose up. Blessed, blessed love. All right. Yeah, we just got to turn it up just a hair. Ah, my voice amplified. I do. Tally. Yeah. That's my girl, man. Where she is? Connecticut? She's awesome. Hopefully we see her online. Hello to our online community. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Whether you're watching now live or later on, thank you for being here. So our values together, if it rings true for you, I invite you to repeat them with me. Wholeness of spirit, spiritual and personal growth, collaborative, synergistic community, abundance and prosperity, love and compassion, appreciation and gratitude, peace and balance, power of freedom, diversity and inclusion, generosity. Thank you so much. I love the power behind that. You know, it's interesting, like when we're out in the world doing our thing, like when I'm at Your Phoenix is Rising, or I'm walking around representing my ancestry, when I step because y'all are behind me. That's why I walk in confidence, because I know that these faces are in my community. And it's wonderful. And you know other people like this. And it's wonderful that our little ripple goes out like that. So for all who come in and touch back out, and we come to this little fill-in station, and we have our inspirator here, Reverend Cindy Grimes. She's going to come forward. But before we do that, do you want to do like a little moment? Yeah, we'll do a spiritual mind treatment. All right. Yeah, we can go ahead and do that. So here at Centers for Spiritual Living, the way that we pray has 5 steps. I love it because it gives me a box to be in so my mind doesn't go all over the place. And it keeps me focused. And it's affirmative prayer. And to think of it this way, the more you look at the truth, the more the truth shows up for you. It's us. We vibrate with that what we would like. And so today, your invitation is to vibrate a little higher with me as we step into the treatment. Allowing my body to be planted firmly on the ground. Stepping into everything I've learned through modalities like Tai Chi and yoga. Grounding my presence down into the earth like my ancestors before me. There is but one life. That life, it lives and moves and has its being in all that I see. What came before me, what shall come behind me. All of these things is that life, moving and ebbing and flowing within itself, creating, calculating, alchemy, all of it, seasons, gravity, everything moving in and out and around, up and down. It is moving where I am standing right now. I call this one life God. It is a word from my childhood that feels the best to my spirit and links to my mother. God is everywhere present. This thing that we call God is me while I'm standing on the stage right now. I know that if it's true for me, it's true for everybody else in this room. It's true for everybody else here in this country, everybody else in every other country that ever shall be formed on this earth into the cosmos. This thing called God is everywhere. And thus, I love that I am a part of that which is the oneness. And today, as we connect to each other in this beloved community and learn to symbiotically move for the elevation of human consciousness, I celebrate my human family present today. Each point of life that showed up, that made the commitment to be present to hear these words. You are a beautiful expression of God. And as we move in this sacred way through our world, I know that we are learning, we are growing. I send this forth into the law, knowing that it's already multiplying, unfolding for the highest and best of everyone here. I'm so grateful, and so it is. Amen. Ashe, ashe, ashe. Our inspirators, Reverend Cindy Grimes.
That I can hear now. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Good morning, everyone. How are you all doing? Excellent. Good morning. So I have a chair that's optional. I might sit here a little bit later, but for now I want to stand up. Love looking out here and seeing all of your beautiful faces. How many first-time visitors do we have? I think I see at least one. I see you in a new chair. You might as well be a first-time visitor because it's been a long, long time since you've been here. And a few on this, couple on this side. Wonderful. Welcome to our space. Happy Sunday. I hope we give you something here of value today. I'm sure going to have you think a little bit different this morning. So I'm, yes, the resident inspirator of our center. And on the fourth Sundays, I like to focus on this idea of the beloved community, building the beloved community. There are challenges in community. Would y'all agree? Is it sometimes hard to get along with people, right? But we are a conscious community. So we look at the challenges of being in community and decision making and when there's conflict and that sort of thing, with the idea that you will take whatever it is that you learn here and use it in your world. You know, peace building for me, I have this Circle Up Center for Practical Peace Building is a nonprofit that I've started. And I'm not here to tell you I'm trying to broker peace in the Middle East or in Congress or anywhere else, but right here, because this is where peace starts, is where you're sitting, each one of us. And if I can have greater peace in my own body, right, acceptance of who I am and love and joy and how I want to show up in the world, but also as that ripples out, right? So in my relationships, right, with my family, with my peers, with our spiritual community. So this is the stuff that I like to teach on our fourth Sundays. And emotional self-mastery, again, because we're starting here, is a really vital part of peace building. Right? How else do you experience peace if not in your own physiology, in your body? So today we're going to talk about fear. Fear. Aren't y'all excited to hear all about fear? It's as exciting as talking about shame. Most people are not excited to talk about fear, but we're just going to take a deep dive. And so we'll have a little fun and maybe, again, open your mind to some different ideas. But we're going to go from fear to faith to courage today. And fear. How many of you have heard these FEAR stands for forget everything and run? Yeah? Is that? This is one, right? Forget everything and run. Then we have false evidence appearing real. This is where the faith part comes in. And then we have, who said it? I heard Cheryl. Face, Darlin over here. Face everything and rise. Face everything and rise. These are different ways that we can look at fear. Right? So why is it important? Why is this so important? I think we actually posted this. Richard, did you find this? I don't know if it was Donna, somebody, this quote right here. All right, somehow these things are coming to us, so I don't know who to attribute it to, but when I read it, I thought, that is on point. So teaching people how to regulate their emotions is crime prevention. It is addiction prevention. It is suicide prevention. It is generational healing. It is how we stop raising adults who explode, implode, or shut down at the first sign of discomfort. Anybody else seeing that around us with fear? Right? That people just don't know how to handle all of these emotions that are coming up. And we're seeing this, explosions, implosions, all kinds of issues. Emotional regulation is not just a soft skill. Now, I teach this stuff for a living, and that used to aggravate the heck out of me that people would call it soft skills. Because this is not easy. It's hard. It's hard. Although someone else said to me, it is soft, though, because we all need our soft places to land. We need those soft places in our life, and it's okay for something to be soft. So, okay, I don't know. Y'all can decide what you want about that. But it's both, maybe, right? It's both. So emotional self-regulation is not just a soft skill. It's survival. It is the foundation of a society where people can disagree without dehumanizing each other, where accountability isn't seen as an attack, and where conflict doesn't always have to mean violence. We want a better world. So if we want a better world, we need to start with understanding ourselves and one another and this emotional life that we share as human beings. Make sense for everybody? I would love to know where this came from, but who knows? Maybe it was our buddy ChatGPT. What's that? Yeah, he stole it from someone else. But it's a great quote. So can y'all feel that? See that? This is where we are, and this is why we teach what we teach here. This is the universal human principles, right? We teach universal spiritual principles, and in peace building, we teach the universal human principles, right? That bridge between the spirit world and how we show up in this world. And so Martin Luther King said this: courage faces fear and thereby masters it. Cowardice represses fear and is thereby mastered by it. And again, I feel like what we are seeing right now, at least from my vantage point, people who are in so-called leadership positions at the top levels of our country that are nothing but cowards right now. People who don't even know what their own values are and are able to stand up for them in a way that is effective and impactful, right? But we can't do anything about those folks over there. We can only deal with what we have right here, with who we are, right? So show up in the world as the courageous beings that we are. Deepak Chopra said this, and here's the connection. The way of peace is based on the same thing that ushered in the way of science. It's a leap in consciousness. Whenever consciousness is ready for a shift, you will see ferment and turmoil. The principle to keep in mind is that consciousness wants to evolve. Anyone who knows how to move consciousness in an evolutionary direction is part of the peace movement. So we've been talking also about this idea of paradigm shifts. And that is when your underlying beliefs of reality suddenly change. It's like when the earth went from being flat to being round, or when Blockbuster disappeared and gave way to Redbox, and then Redbox disappeared and we have streaming. Understand? Things change and then the past is irrelevant, right? But so many of the changes that we see are actually already here in a way. We talked about the horse manure crisis. That's my favorite paradigm shift to talk about, right? Is that there was a time in our history when horses were the mode of transportation and all of the emissions that went along with horses, until people were saying, oh my gosh, we're in some deep, you know what, right? Deep doo-doo. What are we going to do about that? And the solution already existed. The solution was already there. So the solution, what I'm proposing is that the solution to the deep doo-doo that we are in right now, collectively speaking, already exists. Already exists. We need to recognize it and embrace it and move in positive directions, the directions that we want to go in. So if you consider yourself a conscious creator, which I think all of us in this room understand that from a metaphysical standpoint, that we are actually the creators of our experience. So why not create in a way that is very conscious, right? We are conscious co-creators in the evolution of life, and that's Bruce Lipton who said that. So let us therefore be conscious in creating peace in our experience and thereby facilitating it in the world, right? At least in our worlds, and that would be a whole lot better than waking up in the morning. I don't know if y'all, do you look at headlines? Does anyone else look at the news? Sometimes it's hard to avoid. And I can get wrapped up in the fear. But this is why I teach this work, so I can pull myself out and keep remembering why it is that I'm here and not let that fear take over. So this idea of paradigms, when things are shifting, when things are moving from one paradigm to another, it can feel a little treacherous. It's a little scary. When you have the personal paradigm, suddenly your life view about who you are or who your family is or your role in the world suddenly changes. I mean, I'm looking at some of my friends here, right? When you realized and accepted the fact that you were lesbian, and it, oh my God, right? Like, there was probably some reverberations in your world, yes? Right? Anyone who's been through a change like that knows that there are reverberations. There's things that happen. It feels dangerous. You might even feel like you're losing your mind. Right? It's a time, it's a moment, and that's the point, right? That it is a moment, it's a moment, and you've gotten through a lot of stuff already, so you know that you can get through whatever this next moment is. Everything you want, everything you really want, is on the other side of your fear, and that makes the butterflies. That's what gets the fear going, right? What is it going to take? Now, if you've been coming for a while, you've seen this chart before. This is from David Hawkins. The book is called Power versus Force. And this one image encapsulates, I don't know, a half dozen books that this man wrote. But this shows an emotional scale that's saying says a lot of things. One thing, the levels over here, all of those different emotions, all of these are human emotions. It's not some people that have them, some people don't. No, we all have these emotions. If you're a human being, you have them. You might not be in touch with it all. You might not be feeling all of them, but we do have them all. And the bottom, the very worst feeling there is, and I've asked this of thousands of people, is shame. Is shame. So everything goes up from shame. Right? And then we go from shame to guilt, to apathy, then grief, fear, et cetera, et cetera. Another important thing about this chart is the understanding that all of these are normal, natural emotions. They're not emotions that are good or bad. They are just what is so. And they all are here to give you information. And when you vibrate down in that realm of shame, your worldview, your life view is pretty miserable. When you're living in that world of, or when pride is your main thing, the world seems like it's very demanding. Now, everything, if you notice, where things go from force, like all that stuff on the bottom level, to the top, the tipping point there, is courage. The tipping is courage. All the stuff that's worthwhile, all the stuff that's really good, that you want to be feeling is on the other side of courage. What else do I want to say about this? If you notice the stuff at the top, enlightenment, peace, they vibrate at a much higher resonance. So someone who is at those levels, individuals, think about a Jesus or Buddha or Thich Nhat Hanh, people that vibrate at this really high elevation can lift a whole lot of people with them. Right? You read their books, you listen to their teachings, you start to integrate what they're sharing with you, and it elevates folks. Right? So we can, and we also know one of the things that we talked about last time we had this conversation is that emotions are contagious. Right? Each one of us. When you walk into a room, you might not even know what happened in that space, but you feel something when you walk into a space, right? And we have the capacity as human beings to change that, right? How many times have I said it? We all bring joy to a room. Some when we come in, and some when we leave. So take responsibility for that, right? Take responsibility for your power, to change the feel of the room. So that's kind of the basis. Again, we've got books on this in the lending library if you are interested in this topic at all, because we can resonate as human beings, like individually in certain places, and of course you move up and down. And does anybody remember the quickest way to move from the bottom, like to move up? Anybody remember what? Gratitude, yes. Get into gratitude for something, and it will pull you up on that scale. That's fast, right? Really, it can happen really fast, like instantaneous almost, right? And then again, none of these feelings are bad. Like if you're in a space of guilt or shame because of things that have happened to you. You were victimized by somebody. And then you realize that it was not your fault. And then you move into anger. Notice that anger is a higher vibration, right? So you're moving in a good direction. You just don't want to get stuck there, right? We don't want to get stuck in any of those places. Just acknowledge it, feel the emotion, the energy in motion, and then keep on going. Keep on going. So like every other emotion, fear is a messenger. Fear is here to tell you something. What might that be? Or how do we make friends with our fear so it's not so scary? First of all, recognize it. Acknowledge it. Some people are so out of touch with their emotions because we've been told a whole lot of negative things about emotions, right? You're not supposed to trust your emotions. They'll lead you the wrong way. Or else don't even acknowledge it because we live in a fear-phobic society. Like you don't even want to admit that you have fear. So we call it different things. We call it anxiety. You get down to it, it's really fear. It really comes down to fear. So recognize it, acknowledge that it's here, and it's wanting to tell you something. The next thing you can do is investigate it. Like do a deep dive. You know what fear is for? Survival, exactly. Fear is that human mechanism that keeps us alive. It's for our survival. So it has a very important purpose. But now our bodies respond, the fear response in your system. What happens? I just want to hear a couple of you. What does that feel like in your body? It drags you down. What is the physical, what's like the sensation? I'm doing this because this is where I feel fear. You feel constricted, right? You feel like your nervous system is on fire. For me, my stomach clenches up, it gets tight. You can feel frozen. You can feel frozen. You can feel your heart rate going way up. What else? Your chest hurts. Your chest hurts. Yeah, so there are things physiologically that happen when you're in fear, especially when it's a really bad, like something, and you don't think about it. That's the other thing, is you're not thinking about it. It is a reaction that is meant to move you because you don't have time to think about it. Right? There are certain things that we react to. You put your hand on a hot stove, you don't sit there and go, wow, that's really hot. I wonder if I should take my hand off of here. right? That doesn't happen. Your body has a mechanism that when you put your hand on it, you feel the heat and you take it off right away. You didn't think about it. The same thing with our fear reactions, especially when we get into fight, flight, freeze. Your body is saying, get out of Dodge, right? Or else you're going to duke it out with somebody, right? So you've got to get ready. You know, your muscles are getting ready and everything is getting you ready for this either to fight or to run. So that's the physiological stuff that happens. So, you know, our bodies are still wired for probably as we were as prehistoric cavemen kind of beings, where you've got, you know, animals and things chasing after you that could kill you. But now the same fear feeling you might get when the boss calls, right? Or you get a phone call in the middle of the night, or you have to stand up and talk in front of people, or whatever, you know, the thing is, your body has that same physiological response to like, get out of Dodge, right? But we tamp it down, you know, we do all of these things to not feel it. What I'm saying is when you feel it, go into it. You probably don't have a saber-toothed tiger chasing after you. But go into the fear. Like, what is this telling me? Is this telling me that I'm at the edge of my comfort zone? Right? Is it telling me that this is something I legitimately need to be afraid of? Right? Now you get the time to actually think about it. And sometimes what I like to do, instead, now a lot of people in New Thought will say, well, you don't want to feel the fear, don't look at it, you know, you put it over here, deny, deny, deny. I say no. I say go into it. And know, understand that you have whatever it is that you need to get through to the other side. So investigate it. And then you can ask yourself, well, so what's the worst thing that can happen? What's the worst thing that can happen? Right? In this financial situation, what's the worst thing that can happen? I could lose my job. I could lose my friends. Okay. And then what? What's the worst thing that can happen? And you just keep taking it down lower and lower and lower. Where you're probably going to end up at the worst thing that can happen is, I could die. Or somebody else could die. Someone could lose their life, right? But here's the thing. It's going to happen for all of us. Right? Right? Our bodies are wired for survival, but the truth is, none of us get out alive. Right? Every single one of us. That is another one of those universal human principles, is that this life journey comes to an end. So once you accept that's the worst thing that can happen, but that's going to happen anyway, you get on with the business of living. All right. So establishing, how else can you deal with fear? You have and establish and you maintain positive connections, because our connections, those other people that we have in our lives, are the things that help hold us up when we're going through stuff. Anybody else notice that? Right. What do you do when you have some really, really great news, something wonderful happens to you? You want to share it. Exactly, you want to share it. And then also, when bad things happen, right? What happens to us? Often you want to just share it with somebody, right? I got to get this off my chest. You find a trusted, beloved person that can hear you and get it out of your system. So we need one another, right? That's one of the lies. That's one of the paradigm shifts that needs to change, is this idea of we do it alone. You know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. You know, I don't need anybody. I don't need anything. Lies. Lies. None of us would be here without other people. Past, present. I mean, you know, you think about it, there are other people who you never met that put the roads in, right? That built this structure. Everything. Human beings are so interconnected, but we have this illusion of being just ourselves, you know, separate from everything else. That's a paradigm shift, to understand how deeply interwoven and interconnected we are as human beings. Right? We need each other. So having positive social connections, and then practicing presence. What does that mean, presence? Being here now, being in this moment, not being in yesterday, coulda, shoulda, woulda from the past, or worrying about tomorrow, next week, next year, because we don't even know if that's coming, right? You be here now, be here in the present moment. And when you're going through tough times, again, to be in gratitude in the present moment is probably the highest place that you can be. and then put fear in its proper place. So one of the things you can do is say, I acknowledge you, I see you, fear. Has anybody seen Inside Out? The movie Inside Out? If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's such a great, so many great metaphors for emotional intelligence and emotional learning. So I think of fear now as a little character, like, I hear you, I see you, thanks for informing me. Now, get to the back seat, right? Because you're not going to be in the driver's seat. You're not going to be in the driver's seat. I have made too many decisions in my life based on fear that when I look back and go, oh, that's why that went badly. And I invite you all to do that. That's an exercise from one of our classes, to do a timeline of your life and kind of look at defining moments and then see the impact that fear had or didn't have in that. You know, I can look back and know, wow, if I had known this stuff back then, it would have been way different. But then, of course, those mistakes and those issues are what inform me today. So I know that I don't want to make fear-based decisions. Because when you're in survival mode, it's like you get tunnel vision, right? You only see these possibilities. You miss out on all the other creative possibilities for solving things when you get stuck in fear. And we all do it. It happens to all of us. So that's why I'm saying just acknowledge it. Acknowledge it, recognize it. Thank you, I hear you, I see you. Now get in the back seat. Right? Can you all relate to this? Okay, good. So back to that whole idea of fear. Fear doesn't stop death, but it does stop life. I know a lot of people who don't travel, people who don't reach out to other people, people whose lives are very, very small because of the fear that something might happen, right? It might rain. There might be a terrorist attack. There might be fill in the blank, you know? Therefore, they stay in their little, you know, inside of their house in their comfy little area and don't go out because of fear that something might happen. But guess what? It's going to happen anyway. It's going to happen anyway. So this morning I want to take again a deep dive into that thing that is probably the scariest thing for most of us, although I understand that public speaking is scarier for a lot of people than the idea of dying. Does anyone else fear public speaking more than they do dying? So what we're going to do now, I'm going to invite you, I'm going to do, this is where I get to sit down, a guided imagery. A guided imagery. So I'm going to invite you to get comfy, put both feet on the floor, take a nice deep breath, and just to let you know what we're doing, so I'm going to take you to that final night, the last night that you put your head on the pillow. Could be, and I heard, oh gosh. To be honest, I was a little scared to do this too. But I worked through that fear because I know that there's great value in this exercise. And so it's going to be very gentle. So just close your eyes and take a deep breath and feel your body start to relax. Just let the tension ease out of your neck, down your shoulders, down your arms, your torso. Any remaining tension, just let it flow out. Know that you are safe. Take a deep, soul-filled breath in and gently exhale, releasing anything that no longer serves you. Feel yourself anchored, supported by the earth and the infinite presence that holds all together with love. Let your breath be your companion as we take a sacred journey into your future self through the gift of imagination to the last night of this earthly adventure. Imagine now it's the end of a long and beautiful lifetime, but you're not afraid and you're not alone. You rest in the arms of Spirit, held in the presence of infinite love. And on this last night, you rest in the space of deep peace, a holy stillness, your breath slow and steady as you move towards sacred closure. There's no fear, just gratitude for the aged, wise body that was your vessel, that allowed you to live, love, laugh, and learn. You're aware that this is your final night on earth in this body, and you're completely at peace with that knowing. The veil is thin, your breath is steady, soft and relaxed. You're not in pain. You're safe. You're held. And you're loved. And now your awareness gently opens to review the journey you've lived. Like the pages of a storybook, you begin to reflect. You remember the great loves of your life. Soulmates, kindred spirits, family, friends, children, chosen kin, animals and companions along the way. You feel the echoes of their love still pulsing in your heart. All those beautiful, wonderful, loving experiences. You remember the losses, the goodbyes you didn't want to say, the heartbreaks that broke you open and somehow made you deeper, wiser, and more compassionate. You feel the lessons, the ones that came wrapped in challenge, in disappointment, in confusion, but that ultimately brought you closer to your own truth. You relive the joys, those sacred moments of awe, of beauty, delight, and wonder. Sunrises and sunsets, music that moved you, laughter, silence, and moments that reminded you of the truth of who you are. And now you ask the deeper questions, those deeper soul questions. Did I become who I came here to be? Did I live in alignment with my soul purpose, my life's call? Did I love with courage, forgive with grace, risk vulnerability in the service of compassion and connection? Did I bring my unique light into the world in a way that blessed others? If there were places in your life when you wish you'd lived more fully, allow compassion and forgiveness. You were always doing the best you could with what you knew. You were always learning, and Spirit carried you through all of it. And still, look at how far you came. See your journey through holy eyes. You showed up. You endured. You loved. You healed. You gave what you could. And you mattered. Let your spirit rest in that truth, in gratitude and peace. And now for this sacred vantage point, your older, wiser self speaks to you, the you that's listening right now in this moment. What message does your older, wiser self have for you? Maybe it's live now. Maybe it's don't wait. Maybe it's be brave. Maybe it's love bigger. And maybe it's you're already enough. Allow yourself to receive the blessing of your higher self. Breathe it in and let the blessing be etched on your heart. Because you know now, death is not the end. Death is just a doorway. And fear is not the truth. But love is. You came here on purpose, with purpose, by divine appointment. You chose this path, and your soul's work is holy. Let your courage be rooted in your faith, not in the absence of fear, but in the presence of love. And now give thanks for any insights, for any new understanding that was revealed. Take another deep breath and bring your attention back to this time and place in the seat beneath you. You're in there, Brian. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back, travelers. I'm taking the temperature of the room. Not sure if you all feel like you would like to maybe say a little something, not out to the group, but maybe a little turn and talk. Turn to your neighbor, someone sitting next to you, maybe. Or not. I don't know. How are you feeling? Are you guys okay to do that? Would that be helpful? Be gentle. Be gentle. You might be meeting somebody new. Just take about 5 minutes if you want and just share what you want to share about that experience. Just take another minute. Start to wrap up our conversations. Anybody want some tissues? Got tissue. Yeah. Ready to come back? Yeah. Saw some holy water. Some holy water. You know what I didn't say at the end of this? It was just like Scrooge on Christmas morning. Aren't we lucky that we're still here? Right? So you get to take whatever gems of wisdom, whatever your higher self, whatever opened up for you in that experience, and go see where it leads. See where it leads for you. It's a healing opportunity. And that's why we bless the holy water, right? Those tears as they come, because it's a release. It's a release. And remember, we talked about anger and sadness last time, right? That they balance each other. We need both of them as human beings. And what happens sometimes when we have anger, you get like a pressure cooker. And you know you don't want to take the top off a pressure cooker. Anybody ever cooked with a pressure cooker? Have you ever taken the top off before? Years ago, my dad did it. I was like 10, 12 years old. It was spaghetti sauce. Took that top off before it was ready, and that thing exploded. Spaghetti sauce. We would clean spaghetti sauce for years, all over the kitchen, right? So Understand that we need the release, right? The release, the valve. And so never feel bad for the emotion. What we want to do is know how to hone it, right? Know how to use it, know how to direct it so it doesn't have its way with you, right? Use your emotion, don't get used by it. Right? So we find ways to express it and to release it. And so journaling is another wonderful exercise. I do this activity, you know, I don't have the whole reading thing going on, but I do think about it often. And it keeps me on track with my life. You know, you stay on purpose. Otherwise, we can get lost in the rat race and the crazy of the world and think that that's reality. Right? But when you remember your time here is limited, you want to make the most of it. It's a really valuable activity, I think. I hope you all weren't traumatized by that. So here's another really interesting thing about this idea. Grady and I were up at 1 o'clock in the morning. And see, my husband over there, he helps me as I go through my slides. So that was when I was finishing up around midnight last night. I marinate on it the whole week. And then it's like that moment, I have to get this done by tomorrow. And I've got 40 slides and I need to hone it down to 10. So Grady and I are talking, and there was this great quote. I thought it was a great quote by Ernest Holmes. And 15 minutes later, he was still on it. Like, we got to go back and hone that thing. So this conversation of fear and faith. And the point is, fear and faith, this is what we came down to, are flip sides of the same coin, right? But here's how they're the same, right? They are the same mental faculty, if you want to call it that, but fear is the expectation that the thing that we're afraid of is going to happen, right? Whereas faith is the expectation that the thing we hope for is going to happen. So fear and faith are using the same mental capacity. Does that make sense? Right? So it's how you choose to use that. How are you using your expectation? How are you using your belief? Are you using it to believe the worst case possibility, or are you using it to believe that something else and better is possible? Right? So thank you, hubby, for helping me clarify that for myself and put it in the... It sounds so simple, right? It sounds really simple. This was like a whole paragraph of stuff from Ernest Holmes written in like 1920. How do we make this as simple as possible? But that's it. Fear and faith are using the same principle, how you choose to use it. So then how much, this is from Ernest Holmes also, how much can we demonstrate? You know, how much can we manifest in our lives what we can believe? We can manifest what we can believe. How much we can see, how much we can accept, how much we can find in our consciousness, whatever that is, that's what we can have. So what we need is a consciousness, a belief that peace is possible. You know, healthy community is possible. People can get along. Like, these things are possible, right? I'm not all alone. Not all, its spirit is behind me. There is a whole community of people behind me. All of these things are possible, but we have to believe it. We have to see it first, which sometimes means that you have to navigate a quagmire of some negativity, of some difficult emotions that doesn't feel good. That doesn't feel good. So you don't stay in it. You move on through. Okay? I'll close out with this quote by Marianne Williamson that I'm sure you've all heard before. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. We are all meant to shine as children do, as we all shine as children, right? And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. Right? So this idea of emotional intelligence, all of that stuff, we have to feel all of it. You don't get to selectively numb. You don't get to say, I'm not going to feel that anger. I don't get angry, or I don't get sad. I just don't feel. No. If you're cutting yourself off from any of your emotions, you're cutting yourself off from the depth and breadth of all of them. You can't feel the fullness of your joy unless you've really felt the depth of your grief. Does that make sense for everybody? All right, so y'all be gentle with yourselves today. Be gentle. I encourage you to do some journaling. Maybe do this activity again. If you're up for it, right? Do it again tonight. You're going to get up in the morning. You will. You will. I'm affirming that. I don't, but you'll be in a better place anyway, right? You will be maybe a little more prepared. I don't know, but yeah, none of us knows, right? So love big, enjoy each other, and if that's the scariest thing that's happening, well, it's going to happen anyway, right? So live. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So this is the time when we give back. You know, we celebrate our abundance. We don't put a price on most of the things that we do here. You know, we just, but we do exist because of the giving of our community, and we have all the same expenses. We have insurance. We have electric bills. We have all that good stuff, and we're only here because of the giving of the people that show up here. So we just invite you to share your gifts and give back as you feel so moved to do. We have a couple of ways for you to do that. But I'm going to invite you to say this affirmation along with me. It is the nature of life to give of itself, as it is the tree's nature to bear fruit and the flower's nature to bloom. It is my nature to share the gifts of my time, talent, and treasure. I participate in the divine flow of life, giving generously and receiving abundantly. I am blessed and I am a blessing. I am grateful. And so it is. And so here's another way that you can give. To text to tithe, that number, once you program it into your phone, you just give, you put in the message how much you want to give, and it goes right from your account to ours. And I think, Erin, I'm not sure, maybe both of these ladies here with the baskets have prayer requests. So if there is anything happening in your life that you would like a little extra prayer support, you just jot it down on that note, and myself and Don and Norma, Reverend Peggy, pray on those requests. So you get a little extra oomph, a little extra for you. All right. So we also have that vestibule out there if people want to give with a credit card. So we'll just say a little prayer over this. Take your attention, turn it within. I am so grateful for everyone that participates at this center, for those who give of their time, talent, and treasure in service of this idea of creating a world that works for all and showing up as a beneficial presence in our world. I am grateful as well for the prayer requests, knowing that the answer to each and every prayer already exists in the mind of spirit, and I affirm that it is resolving, that whatever that challenge is resolving for the highest and very best for each and every person involved. And I give thanks for everyone here, for the seeds that have been planted, for those that are growing in process, and for harvests that are coming. And release these words with gratitude and joy. And so it is. All right, so what's going on here? We've got our Science of Mind magazine, which is put out by the larger organization. There are affirmations in there for every day of the month. It's a 2-month issue, so if you'd like to check that out. And if you're a first-time visitor, I think you get one as a gift. And Erin over there, you want to hold it up? There, Erin's got them. She is our bookstore coordinator, admin person. So many wonderful people we have here that make this place work, right? Make it what it is. Newsletter will be coming out for August soon. If you want to be on that list, please sign up on the front table there. We have a new, are you in the, I don't know if you're in this. Stand up, Cheryl. Darlin, AKA Cheryl. Cheryl has offered to be the team lead for our welcome team. So she's Darlin, and she's sweet, welcoming folks in the morning, but she could use a few more people on her team. She's got Pam. So anyone else? And welcome is a great way to meet people. You just come a little bit early, and you want to say anything particular? Yeah, thank you. All right. So what's going on here? A volunteer meeting, cleanup, and inventory of closets, art supplies, events. Any of you like to organize things? Don't raise your hands all at once. We have a couple. It is not my forte. I'm just going to be honest there. It's not mine. I love it when things are organized. I can keep them organized, but I'm not as good as getting it together. But anyway, so yeah, we'll go back to that. So that is happening next Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, we're going to ask that anybody who is in our volunteer core group, and you need to come and see me and just kind of get plugged in, because we got some paperwork we want to go over with everyone. So we're going to have that volunteer meeting coming up, and then we're just kind of cleaning up and inventory what we got going on. Again, collaborative, synergistic community is who we are. So we do all of this via our beautiful service teams. So that's why you'll see us talk about team leads. It just means Cheryl Darling is now the face of what it looks like to welcome folks. So it's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You know, and you reminded me at the front, those of you who are new would not know this, but we had a brick pathway with a whole bunch of bricks, and it was kind of off kilter. So how many of our girl power girls do we have here?
We had like 4 of us out there. Erin,
There's
me,
2 of
Karen.
them are here.
There's a few of us out there, and we all like worked. Tiffany.
So what was so fun about this, when I walked up, and this was going to take a lot of work, they created some kind of, it was a synergy thing.
It was.
And a lot of different ideas that came in, and I was astounded at how fast they did it and moved those bricks, got them out of the way.
You have to work together. It's like the whole synergistic.
It was synergy in action. That's what I will say. And it was women, and it was really cool. I mean, they brought their cars in and loaded up the back with bricks, and it was just brilliant. It was brilliant. Like, I would not have come up with those ideas, but one person had an idea, and it put somebody else's idea, and then somebody else's idea, and the thing just was like, wow, that is synergy right in there. Yeah, yes. What else do we have? We've got a fundraiser for Joyful Expressions to go to Posse Music. I didn't even know this was happening. Think and Grow Rich, the movie. Who knew? Did you know?
That's because your teams are always working in the background, honey.
How many of you know Think and Grow Rich? Are you serious? Yeah.
From
yes,
last
Think
week,
and Grow
right?
Rich.
So there is a video. Do we have enough time to play the video for those who did not see that video last week? Yeah, the trailer to it. If you click on the movie, is it up? Click on movie.
Can you click on it? Back there, tech guys? If not, we can post it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. I don't think it's letting. Oh, there we go.
There we are.
Millions and millions of people. Bob Proctor, New York Times best-selling author, lecturer, and counselor.
I am here today with Bob
From the hit movie The Secret, which reached millions and millions of people around the world, as preaching the gospel of positive thinking.
I want you to really pay close attention. This is not an ordinary film that you're watching. You and I can literally create the life we want. If you will focus on what I'm suggesting, I'm going to show you how to do it. These ideas are coming from 57 years of focused study by myself and tens of years by Napoleon Hill. You're going to find these 13 principles will change your life like night and day. You can use these films as a mentor. You can. You can let me be your mentor. You see, most people, when they're setting goals, they don't go after what they really want. They go after what they think they can get. Goals are not to get. Goals are to grow. And if we set a goal just to go after something we already know we can get, that's sort of silly. There's only 13 steps. It's going to guarantee that you can develop wealth. You're going to find the secret in these 13 principles. Believe me. You follow this, you can do whatever you want. What are you going to do with the rest of your life?
Hi, my name is Andrew Ironman Graham, and this is the official movie for the classic personal development book, Think and Grow Rich. The information contained in this material has now helped millions of people to amass fortunes well beyond millions of dollars, some even into the billions. And after 75 plus years, this book has finally been transformed into a brand new movie. It's fun, easy to enjoy with your family, and even great to share with your work colleagues. It's designed to help people that truly want more out of life to use proven principles that are governed by the laws of the universe. Just an FYI, I took it upon myself as a personal mission to get this information out to the billions of people around the world that need it. The people that have so much potential to do good for the world, for their families, and for their countries, but they only lack the success mindset in which Think and Grow Rich has been proven to provide. And now, you're about to unlock the 13 steps to riches that so many of us are already using on a daily basis. I have personally used the information in this movie to become a multi-millionaire. I've also manifested a 5-star luxury lifestyle, a beautiful loving family, and a business that is inspiring millions, even billions around the world to become great. What will you do with this information? What are those dreams bubbling up inside of you? All you need to do is simply click the button you see below this video and unlock the Think and Grow Rich movie for an already reduced price that you see on this page only. Your new life, filled with more money than you can ever spend, outrageous wealth and abundance, unlimited freedom, and a life of choice and opportunity is waiting for you on the other side. The side of life that I refer to as the good life. Just click the button to order Think and Grow Rich the movie and unlock 13 steps to wealth right now.
We don't have to click the button. We're gonna show the movie here. That's good.
And it is free to attend the movie, but we are, because it is a fundraiser, we are going to have a meal that you can purchase during the movie. So it's a taco bar, and you do get 2 drinks like we did with the other meal. But come and let us talk about it afterwards. Interesting stuff. And this is all over the world, the business world.
Yeah.
And here we are tapping into that modality as well.
Yeah, it's a classic. If you haven't read it, it's a metaphysical classic, Think and Grow Rich. So awesome.
Oh, yes, and we do have some in the bookstore for sale if you'd like to go ahead and grab your copy now. And speaking of, we have Foundations for the Science of Mind class coming out. This is a certificated course. So when you take this course, it is recorded in home office, and you can continue on if you decide to be a practitioner like myself and Norma, meaning that we hold our own in this practice, and then we hold for others when we sit with them with spiritual mind treatment and affirmative prayer. We also have these classes. We have some scholarships available, so if you want to talk about scholarship, come and see me and we'll talk about that. And it is starting August 4th through October 6th. It will be hybrid. I believe everybody kind of
What
likes
day
the
of the week
hybrid.
is that?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember what day we settled on, but it was on a Monday before.
Sounds
it was
like
a Monday
Mondays?
before.
Mondays?
Yes, Monday.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
there you go. Ooh, Mindful Monday. Hello.
This is where the rubber meets the road, y'all, is in classes. Sunday morning's great, but classes takes it to a whole other level. CPR is happening August 17th.
Yes, if you're a healthcare worker and you need to renew your CPR, you can renew it with this class. It'll just cost you $50. So just know that when you're coming in, if you're a CNA or RN like me.
All right. We are starting a butterfly garden, so we've got a group that is fundraising for the butterfly garden. And let's see what this event is. Decorate a clay pot and propagate a plant. That is happening also in August on a Saturday. That will be big fun. Green Guardians, again, volunteers. If you love being outside, you might not be an organizer, but maybe you like the outdoors, pulling weeds. Who knows? I don't like that either.
But you're on the stage doing the public speaking that a lot of people don't
I
like.
know,
So.
I do that part, right? Wishing upon a wing also for our butterfly garden. You see, we've got a few butterflies around here. Oh, and yesterday, We had the funnest event. Y'all missed it. Come up and look at these rocks. You know, you look around town, you see these rocks that are painted. They have little messages and stuff. We had a great time doing that yesterday. So come and look at some of the rocks that were created. And that also is part of the fundraiser for the Butterfly Garden. Mini Green Guardians, if you've got little ones you want to, they don't get enough chores at home, bring them here. We'll give them something to do. Again, more volunteer opportunities. I think that's good. Do we have children still, or is she?
We do.
Do we want her to come in, or?
Well,
Because
here's the
sometimes she
thing.
doesn't want to.
Sometimes she doesn't want to come in, but it's okay. We can listen to the song
We'll
and
listen
just
to the
kind of
song.
prepare ourselves here. You know, the little one
Bless
inside of you.
ourselves.
Yeah, the little one inside of you. My little one likes to move around and dance, so I allow myself to do that now. And if your little one likes to sing, sing. I'm gonna let it shine.
Bless yourself.
This little light of mine. I experience fibromyalgia from time to time, so my body needs to move to release it somatically, right? I'm healing myself naturally here. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, shine.
All right. Oh, she's
Shine,
here, Kareem.
shine. You know you want to.
She looks like a princess, doesn't she, today? She is
All
dressed like a
right.
princess, all
All
sparkly
right.
and shiny. And so we send love, right? We say this, yeah, that's what we do. We say, we honor you, we see your light, may it shine on all that you do.
And then take that within and do the same for yourself. I like to say, I honor you. I see our light. May it shine on all that we do. And so it is, and so it is. And thank you guys so much, because I don't know how many of you were told when you were little to be seen and not heard. That was a thing. And it's so lovely that my grandchild gets to see the face of love staring back at her. You know, people that are not her immediate family. And this is so awesome because it solidifies that, which is, takes the village to raise a child, and all of your aunties and uncles to her. So thank you so much for that.
I love her sparkle. I once had, I was saying to a few ladies and a little girl that, am I wearing too much, it's too much sparkly, too much, and this little girl, 8 years old, said, a woman can never have too much sparkle.
That part.
Yes.
Yes.
Own your sparkle. All right, I think that's it. It's not clicking to the next thing, but we'll just close out with a prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. Yes, Elaine.
Peace building community with workshops and that sort of thing?
Yes, thank you for that. Yes, we are in the fall. I will set, still deciding if I want to do it over maybe 2 days or do it over several weeks, that we can do this, yes, the peace building work. Yeah, and y'all are getting it. The topics that we cover is the stuff that I'm covering in here. We just do it to another level, more experiential stuff along with it. So we'll keep you posted on that. As soon as we pick the date, we'll let you know. Thank you. Have a fabulous week, everybody.
And thank you so much for
Blessings.
sharing online. I see you guys sharing out there, sending it out there. We're going to be developing our online community even more. So that way, those of us who are hybrid, like I'm hybrid, and I love being able to plug in when I'm in Jamaica. You just have to pay attention to this time zone thing. It messes us up a little bit, but that's okay.